Hi there. So as you know now, the fantastic Canva is working in team with Flipgrid. Oh, exciting. So what can you do? Well, you can do some backdrops. So if you type in Flipgrid backdrops and you have it written here, you can see there's an array of backdrops that you can get. Just remind you that a Canva and like Flipgrid are free applications. It's fabulous to be able to work with the two of them, so they're both free, so nothing to pay for. And if you need a link to how to get the education version of Canva, I'll happily put them in my YouTube channel on the bottom. You have several possibilities here. You have some landscape and you have some portrait, but for what I would like to do is I want to create my own. So I'm just going to be going into create a blank Flipgrid backdrop. Okay, so you can get plenty of stuff, but what you want to do, in my case, I just want to get a nice, easy, simple background, something that is going to be straightforward for most of the children, nothing in the way, something nice and blue like this will absolutely do. So I've been following my sessions with my sentence builder that you can find on sentencebuilder.com that I really like using. Obviously there are some free versions too, something called Sentencify also is a free. You can find it also on my YouTube channel. There's a review. I've got a very thorough review on sentence builders that I used most days and I find wonderful. So do have a nose into it, and I'm sure you'll be convinced to use either one or the other. So I quite like following the EPI method by Gianfranco Conti, and if you follow the Mars ears pattern, you have the routinization and spontaneity at the end, and this is what I would like to work on. Obviously, if you're not following that method, it's absolutely fine. You can still do something, obviously, and you still be able to work out a very good activity to make the pupils speak, and maybe write in a second case. So what I want the students to get a bit more spontaneous about all the things they have been learning with the past tense, the expressions, the destinations and where they stayed and things like that. In this case, it could be absolutely on anything, but this is the example I'm going to show you now. So in order to do that, well, I am going to be using Flipgrid and I am going to be using Canva. So if I go back to my Canva from earlier on, that's the one. I'm going to start popping a few bits and bobs into it, some icons which are going to help you out identifying the things that I would like the children to say. So here are the ones I've made. They are super straightforward to do. I just need to pop a few icons into it and put it on the side. So I've got Spain 2020 for last year, a car, traveling by car, and so on and so forth. Okay, if you just want to have a quick look on how to do that, we can go back onto this very, very quickly. And if you're not very familiar with Canva, but I'm sure you are, you just need to be getting some pictures, for example, or content. And you can have absolutely anything that you want to say if you're looking for tent or something. And you have your tent there. You say they went camping. You just have to drag it very, very quickly. And let's say they did a campfire. I get another one and put it here. Make it a bit smaller. And let's say that they toasted some marshmallows. Oh, exciting. Marshmallows. There we go. We can just pick a very quick one. Let's say this one here. Oh, do it twice. Okay, I'm going to make it smaller here, pop it here on the side. The beauty of this, if I want to keep the pattern, is I just need to put them in line so it looks nicer. But if I want to reproduce the same, I just need to be clicking on duplicate page, and after you keep it simple, I just replace the images. It's really straightforward. And what I do with 6 or 7 slides. Okay, you can see that I'm in Flipgrid, and the title was the LinguaScope webinar because we did a show and tell with a number of fabulous people, so it was really exciting to be there. And this is just a fuller version of what I showed on that day. on a show and tell lingoscope. So I created a topic called Les Vacances, and you can see that we obviously you can add your Bitmojis now, obviously in Flipgrid if you wanted to. Can you hear a bit of coughing in the background, which is absolutely fine. Then what you got to be doing is, and I think it's really, really useful, if you go and edit the topic, you write whatever the title, then give some guidelines, so you can put some nice image. I put a Bitmoji, which is fine. But the recording time should be no more than 5 minutes. I think it's absolutely fine too. What is really important for me here is closed captions. I think closed captions is very, very important. In French, it's going to help them out later on to know when they speak if actually pronounce things properly, because it does pick up the language pretty well. And after that, it doesn't really matter. It's really up to you if you want to display the count or if you want to be able to download and stuff like that. So that's straightforward. But that probably is the most important thing that you really want to do here. Okay, so what I would like to show you is how these things work. So I'm going to be recording a response. I've done one already here, but just to show you how it works. So I am going to be recording response. Right, you can see my face now. I have put a backdrop. So when you are here, there's several options you can use. You have all these options there. They don't have to show their faces, but obviously it's better. If they're a bit shy, they can just use the mic only possibility. Okay, there's lots of different things you can do, record screen and stuff. But obviously I'm not going to be doing something on Flipgrid, hoping that you know how to use it. And if not, there's tons and tons of excellent videos online to show you how to use it. Nice effects you can put there on GIFs and stuff like that, also photo and frames and stuff, which is quite fun to do. I'm going to try to keep to the basic thing here. And what you want to do here is just work with the backdrops. Okay, so as you can see behind me, you have several possibilities. You can play with the ones that you have, a bit like when you go into a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting, people can change the backdrops. So it will be exactly the same here. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I am going to upload it from my computer. So you can still see my computer. I'm going to go into my downloads. Probably nothing overly exciting here. It's going to be there. I'm going to upload the number 1 and open. Okay, and you will recognize my backdrops here. What you can see, my face is in front of it too. So what I can do is I can click on move left. And look at that. Make myself smaller. I can move myself up or whatever. Again, it's going to be up to them to be deciding what they want to do to make it funky. If they want to add a frame or something to make it nice, but they have a certain amount of time to do that, and I don't want to give them because I want to work on our spontaneity. So they have about 20 to 25 minutes with their laptops or with their computers or with their tablets. We can do that. And it's because that spontaneity they need to be working quick. So there we go. So I'm going to start recording something, and after we can show that you can stop and start again by putting a second backdrop, just to show you how it works. Okay, let's have a play. L'année dernière, je suis allé en vacances en Espagne en voiture. Okay, I'm just recording myself there. I can stop, I can pause, backdrop, open. Okay, and there we go. I'll make myself again small on the side, and you keep going. Je suis allé faire du camping, c'était génial. So you got a gist. You do that, you stop, you had your backdrop. They can use any order. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, but it doesn't really matter. They'll see them, and it's quite straightforward. The way they have access to these backdrops is I put them in somewhere central. So I either put them in a cloud or I put them onto Teams. If you have access to Teams, so they have done their videos, and you can see that the video is there. It's a different one with the same icons, but you're going to get the gist also there. And you can see you have some captions. The captions don't appear straight away. They'll be appearing a bit later. Then it needs a couple of minutes to generate them. But I think it's really precise. So let's have a quick listen. L'année dernière, je suis parti en vacances en Espagne. Nous avons voyagé en voiture. Nous sommes allés dans un camping. C'était super. Okay, you can see it's really accurate. If it wasn't accurate, they have the possibility to change it, but obviously I don't want them to change because I want to see if it's being picked up, the accent is being picked up nicely and properly. And after that, you give them some feedback, and that's the important bit, okay? So, all in all, quite straightforward. If I go back into my Canva thing, so you go into your Canva, you get your slides going on, you upload them, so you download it and put it into your computer, then you upload it to somewhere central and create your Flipgrid, where they will be able to have access to your area. Then they start getting over the topic. I think it's very good. It's very quick. It works well. Most of the time they like it. They're a bit under pressure, I think, which is the look for that spontaneity, and that's an important thing. Whiteboards to write a spontaneous paragraph. I don't really want them to have access to sentence builders or anything like that. I think it's much better to get the spontaneity. It's at the end of the topic, so they should be really getting fluent in their approach. They should know lots of vocab on that, and so hopefully it will work out a treat, as you can see. And if we move on to the next one, they are obviously go to Canva, and they'll be creating their slides, linked to the paragraphs they've been creating. So it's all about finding some exciting little icons, or they can just inject their personality into that. I like the fact that they can be creative, and creativity and languages, they go very, very well together. And we're moving on then, obviously, after that, off to Flipgrid to record, and obviously it's awesome. So they do their magic, they play with magic. I can add more effects, obviously, with Flipgrid onto their little slides. They can move around and stuff, which makes things really, really cool. And obviously, the whole point here is to have fun and be awesome. And I think that's really important. They need to be having that confidence going on. And by doing little things like that, I think it's really helping out everybody from low level to probably higher level. And it's nice little exercise for adding a bit of tech, which makes it quite exciting.